misty valley surrounded by crooked trees and whispering winds, there stood an old cottage no one dared to visit. People said it belonged to Morla, the moon witch, who once tried to brew spells that could bend emotions. But everyone in the village remembered her as the witch who brought bad luck, and they made sure to stay far away. Mola was not evil, she was lonely. Her only friend was a mischievous black cat named Nimbus, who loved knocking over bottles and chasing fireflies. One frosty evening, as the moonlight poured through the cracks of her cottage, Mola decided to make a potion that could freeze slaughter. She thought that if everyone stopped laughing at her, maybe they would definitely respect her. She stirred her bubbling cauldron, whispering strange words, while Nimbus darted across the room. Stay still, silly cat, she snapped, but Nimbus was too busy pouncing at a rolling eyeball shaped candle. In the chaos, Morla grabbed the wrong vial, one filled with moon nectar instead of frozen Thor essence. She poured it in, lifted her wand, and shouted the finding spell. A sparkling puff final in the purse. She bowed it in, lifted her wand, and shouted the finding spell. A sparkling puff fell in the air, and before she knew it, proof Nimbus had turned into a glowing silver legend. His tail became the wick, and his soft purrs echoed like a flickering light inside the glass. Mola gasped in horror. The lantern floated gently in the air, lighting the room with a warm glow, almost as if Nimbus was still alive but trapped. Her heart shattered. She spent hours trying to reverse the spell, but nothing worked. The next morning, villagers saw an old crow over the forest. They whispered that the witch had captured a piece of the moon. Some children even said they could see faces inside the light. And as stories twisted, people began lighting their own lanterns every year to protect themselves from the moon witch curse. The night became as the Lantern Festival. Years passed, the villagers forgot Morla's real story, but one child didn't. Her name was Lyra, a kind-hearted girl who collected stray kittens. Even on Lantern Festival, while others hung paper lights in the celebration, Lyra placed bowls of milk outside for wandering cats, believing that maybe the witch cat spirit was still looking for home. One festival night, as mist rolled in, Lyra noticed a strange figure moving through the fog. It was someone wearing a pumpkin shaped mask and carrying a sack full of small bottles. The figure moved from house to house, splashing something on the lanterns. Whenever it fell, the lights dimmed and turned to stone. Terrified, Lyra followed quietly. The figure's steps were uneven, wary, and almost sorrowful. When the person tripped over a fallen pumpkin, Lyra rushed forward and grabbed the mask. Underneath was the pale, tear-streaked face of the Morla. Why are you doing this? Lyra cried. The lanterns are beautiful. They are not beautiful, Morla whispered, clenching her lantern can close. They mock my pain. Every light they hang is a reminder of what I lost. Lyra's anger faded into the pity. She stepped closer. Maybe they just don't know your story, but hurting them won't bring Nimbus back. Morla turned away. You think kindness can do undo magic? Sometimes, said Lara softly. It can. She reached into her coat and bring out the small kitten she would rescue that evening. grey with faint silver streaks in its fur. He was hiding near the well. Maybe he's been waiting for you. The kitten meowed and nestled against Morla's robe. For the first time in years, the witch smiled faintly. A single tear slipped from her eye and landed on the glowing lantern. The moment it does, a glimmer spread across the glass, then cracked. The lantern burst open and Nimbus leapt out, alive, his fur glinting like the moonlight. Morla fell to her knees, crying with joy. The villagers who had gathered after hearing the noise watched in silence as the witch hugged her cat. But suddenly Nimbus' glow spread faster, too fast. The moonlight enveloped Morla entirely. When it faded, she was gone. In her place stood a tall silver lantern, shining brighter than any other in the valley. Lyra reached out and whispered. She gave herself to free him. From that day on, the Lantern Festival changed of fading the moon witch. People began lighting one silver letter every year to honor her. The witch who proved that love, not revenge, is the truest magic. And if you walk through the valley on a misty night, you would still see Nimbus sitting beside the glowing lantern, guarding it with the soft moonlit